I always thought I'd feel beautiful on my wedding day. Instead, I feel like I'm burning alive in $3,000 worth of white satin and lace. You okay? Emma squeezes my hand as we stand just outside the reception hall doors. The string quartet inside has just finished tuning up. Just need a minute. I force a smile that doesn't reach my eyes. My makeup artist spent 90 minutes making me look effortlessly radiant, but my reflection in the mirrored wall shows a woman I barely recognize. Emma adjusts my veil, her eyes searching mine. Noelle, talk to me. Is this just normal wedding jitters or? I'm fine. The lie comes easily. I've been telling it to myself for weeks. The doors swing open and 100 faces turn toward me. Alfred stands at the front of the room, tall and impossibly handsome in his tuxedo. His smile is brilliant, practiced, the same one he uses to charm juries. My stomach twists. I scan the crowd as I walk in, nodding at colleagues, distant relatives, and Alfred's law partners. My mother sits rigidly in the front row, her approval as conditional as always. Bryant, my mentor, gives me a subtle thumbs up from his table. And then there's Violet, my sister, standing by the champagne fountain, looking everywhere but at me. The quartet begins playing as I make my entrance. Alfred extends his hand as I approach. His fingers are warm when they close around mine, but I feel nothing. Just hours ago, I found a text on his phone while he was in the shower. Not the first suspicious message I'd glimpsed, but the most damning. You look stunning, he whispers. And for a second, I almost believe he means it. The officiant begins, and I go through the motions. My voice sounds distant to my own ears as I repeat words about honor and cherishing. Alfred's vows are eloquent, of course. He's always been good with words, too good. If anyone can show just cause why this couple cannot lawfully be joined together in matrimony, let them speak now or forever hold their peace. The traditional pause, a few awkward chuckles from the crowd, and then, I have something to say. The voice cuts through the room like a blade. Conversations stop. Glasses freeze midway to lips. I don't need to turn to know it's Violet. I'm sorry, Noelle. My sister's voice wavers. I can't let you do this. The room tilts slightly. Alfred's hand tightens around mine, his fingernails digging into my palm. Violet, this isn't the time, my mother hisses, half rising from her seat. But Violet continues, each word striking like a physical blow. Alfred and I have been sleeping together for the past 8 months. The collective gasp seems to suck all the oxygen from the room. I turn slowly, feeling as though I'm moving underwater. Violet stands there in her maid of honor dress, the one I spent weeks helping her choose, her face flushed, eyes glassy with tears that look almost genuine. It started as just one night, she continues, her voice growing stronger. But it became more. I'm in love with him, Noelle, and he loves me too. I look back at Alfred, whose face has drained of color, not from shock, from being caught. The calculation is already happening behind his eyes. I can see it, having witnessed it in the courtroom. He's measuring responses, weighing options. Noelle, he starts, his tone placating, the same tone he uses with difficult clients. This isn't, she's confused. 8 months, I repeat, my voice surprisingly steady. That would be right after our engagement party, wouldn't it? Alfred blinks, thrown by my calmness. She's making this up. You know how Violet gets, always wanting attention. The text I saw this morning, I continue, the one that said, after today, we won't have to hide anymore. That wasn't from a client, was it? The room is so quiet I can hear the ice melting in abandoned drinks. My mother's face is a mask of horror. Emma has moved closer, ready to catch me if I fall. But I won't fall, not here. Did you think I wouldn't find out? I ask, loud enough for everyone to hear. Or did you just not care? Alfred reaches for my arm. Let's discuss this privately. I step back, out of his reach. There's nothing to discuss. I turn to face our guests, these people who came to celebrate our love. Some look horrified, others embarrassed. A few, Alfred's friends, almost amused. I remove my engagement ring, the 3-carat diamond catching the light one last time. Thank you all for coming, I say, my voice clear and controlled. Unfortunately, there won't be a wedding today. I place the ring in Alfred's palm, closing his fingers around it. His expression shifts from damage control to genuine alarm. He hadn't expected this version of me. Noel, don't. I cut him off with a single look. Then I turn to Violet, who's watching with wide eyes, like she's surprised by the consequences of her own actions. Thank you, I tell her, and confusion flickers across her face. Thank you for the confirmation. I walk back down the aisle alone, head high, the weight of 100 stairs on my back. The heavy doors close behind me with a decisive thud, and only then do I allow myself a single shuddering breath. The dress that took 6 months to perfect now feels like a costume I can't wait to shed. The hotel room ceiling has a small water stain in the corner. I've been staring at it for hours, watching how it changes shape in the shifting darkness. 3 in the morning, and sleep feels like a distant memory. I kick off the suffocating duvet and sit up. My wedding dress is crumpled in the corner where I left it, a white ghost haunting the room. I should have burned it. My phone lights up for the 47th time tonight. Alfred again. I don't need to read the message to know what it says. They've all followed the same pattern: denial, then anger, then desperate pleas for me to answer him so he can explain. What is there to explain about sleeping with my sister? I scroll through older messages instead, hunting for clues I missed. There are hundreds between us: daily check ins, dinner plans, sweet nothings, lies, all of them. But something catches my eye: a text from 3 months ago. Can't make dinner tonight. Emergency client meeting. Don't wait up. I remember that night. I'd called his office when he didn't answer my texts, and his secretary said he'd left early. I'd brushed it off, trusting him completely. That same night, Violet had canceled our weekly sister lunch for the following day. A terrible migraine, she'd claimed. My fingers move before my brain catches up, dialing Emma's number despite the hour. I'm awake, she answers immediately. Are you okay? I need you to tell me something, I say, my voice hoarse. That weekend we went to the coast 3 months ago. Did Violet say anything about where she was the night before? Emma hesitates. She mentioned meeting friends for drinks. Why? Which friends? She didn't say. Noelle, what's going on? I close my eyes. I think it's been happening longer than 8 months. The silence on the other end confirms my suspicion that Emma had the same thought. I'm coming over, she says finally. No, I need to be alone tonight. I pause. But tomorrow, I need your help with something. Bryant's office has always been my sanctuary. The smell of old books and coffee, the view of the city skyline, the quiet confidence of a space where I've grown from nervous intern to partner track architect. You should take some time off, he says, leaning against his desk. His eyes are kind but concerned. No one would blame you. I'd blame me. I straighten the models on his shelf, needing to fix something, anything. Work is the only thing that makes sense right now. Bryant sighs. Noelle, I hired someone, I blurt out. A private investigator. His eyebrows shoot up. To what end? I need to know everything. My voice doesn't waver. How long it's been happening? If there were others, I need facts, not just Violet's version. And then what? Bryant asks gently. I don't have an answer. Not one I'm ready to say out loud. My phone buzzes. A text from the PI I hired this morning. Found something? Meeting in 20? The cafe is busy enough that our conversation won't be overheard. The investigator, a woman named Jess, with shrewd eyes and a no nonsense attitude, slides a folder across the table. That was fast, I say. Some things are easy to find if you know where to look. She taps the folder. Credit card statements, hotel receipts, phone records. They weren't exactly careful. My hands shake as I open it. The first page is a credit card statement. Alfred's. Multiple charges at a hotel downtown, dating back nearly a year. The same hotel every few weeks. A year, I whisper. They've been doing this for a year. Jess nods. There's more. Your sister's social media has them in the same locations too many times to be coincidental. Different cities, even. They took a weekend trip to Chicago 3 months ago. The coast trip, the migraine, the client emergency. It all clicks into place. That's not all, Jess continues, her voice softening slightly. There are text messages. I managed to recover some deleted ones from the cloud backup. I flip to the next page and immediately wish I hadn't. The messages between them are explicit, intimate, plans and promises, discussions about their future. After I was out of the picture, soon we won't have to hide, Alfred had written. Just a few more months until the wedding and the prenup is signed. Then we'll have everything we need. The prenup. The one that would have given Alfred access to my trust fund if we stayed married for at least a year. The inheritance my grandfather left specifically to me, not Violet. This wasn't just an affair. It was a con. My phone rings, Violet's name flashing on the screen. For the first time since yesterday, I answer. Noelle, thank God. She breathes. I've been so worried. Can we talk? Please? I need to explain. Where are you right now? I ask, my voice eerily calm. At Mom's. She's not happy with me. I bet she isn't. I close the folder, my decision made. Tell me something, Violet. Was it worth it? What? Was destroying me worth whatever he promised you? She starts to cry, those familiar tears that have gotten her out of trouble our entire lives. It wasn't like that. I fell in love. You fell in love with my fiancé and my money, I cut in. That's quite a coincidence. Her crying stops abruptly. What are you talking about? I know about the prenup, Violet. I know about Chicago. I know everything. The silence stretches between us. This isn't over, I say finally. Not by a long shot. I hang up and look at Jess, who's watching me with something like respect. What's next? She asks. I take a deep breath. Everything. I want to know everything. 3 days after my wedding that wasn't, I sit cross-legged on my living room floor surrounded by evidence of my former life's implosion. Jess has been thorough. Hotel receipts, photos, text message logs, and location data spread around me like the world's most depressing puzzle. I pick up a photo of Alfred and Violet at a restaurant in Chicago, his hand on hers, both smiling like they'd invented happiness. The timestamp matches our coast trip perfectly. My phone buzzes with a text from Emma. You still alive in there? I haven't left my apartment since meeting with Jess. Haven't showered today either, if I'm being honest. Barely, coming up for air soon. Good, Bryant called. He's worried. I set down my phone without responding. Bryant's concern feels like one more responsibility I can't handle right now. The evidence tells a story I'm still struggling to accept. Alfred and Violet's affair began just weeks after he proposed, not after the engagement party, as she claimed at the wedding. Their Chicago trip wasn't the only one. They'd been to New York twice, once, while I was at a conference in Seattle. The prenup Alfred had insisted upon, just to protect us both, had been carefully designed to give him access to my inheritance after a year of marriage. And Violet, my little sister, the girl I'd protected from bullies, helped through college, defended to our mother countless times. She'd been planning to move in with him after I signed those papers. My doorbell rings, startling me. Through the peephole, I see Alfred, looking haggard in rumpled clothes. I know you're in there, Noelle, he calls through the door. We need to talk. My heart hammers against my ribs. I press my back against the wall, willing him to leave. I'm not going anywhere until you open this door, he continues, his lawyer voice slipping into place. The neighbors are starting to notice. That calculated manipulation, using my concern for appearances against me, ignites something molten in my chest. I swing the door open. Alfred's eyes widen at my appearance. Unwashed hair, sweatpants, dark circles under my eyes. Good. Let him see what he's done. You have 30 seconds, I say. He pushes past me into the apartment before I can stop him, then freezes when he sees the evidence spread across my floor. What is all this? His voice has lost its confidence. Your life, Alfred, or at least the parts you tried to hide. He picks up a hotel receipt, his face paling. You had me investigated? That's invasive, unethical, funny coming from the man who was sleeping with my sister while planning to steal my inheritance. Alfred's expression shifts, the mask slipping to reveal something calculating beneath. It wasn't like that. No? Then explain the prenup. Explain why you needed access to my trust fund after 1 year of marriage. That was standard protection. For whom? I step closer. The prenup my lawyer drafted protected both of us. The one you insisted on replacing it with protected you. Only you. He runs a hand through his hair, a gesture I once found endearing. Now I see it for what it is. A practiced move to appear vulnerable. I made a mistake with Violet, he says, voice softening. A terrible mistake. But I love you, Noelle. I've always loved you. Something breaks loose inside me, a laugh so bitter it scrapes my throat. You've never loved anyone but yourself. That's not fair. Fair? I grabbed the Chicago photo and thrust it at him. Was this fair? This was the weekend I was with Emma, grieving the anniversary of my father's death. You knew that. You knew what that weekend meant to me. His silence is damning. Get out, I whisper. Noelle, get out, I scream, my voice cracking. Before I call the police and tell them how you tried to defraud me. That gets his attention. Alfred straightens, lawyer mode fully engaged. You have no proof of intent to defraud. I gesture to the floor. I have enough to make your life very uncomfortable. Your firm doesn't like scandals, does it? Especially ones involving senior associates and inheritance schemes. His jaw tightens. This isn't over. Actually, it is. I open the door. And Alfred, tell Violet I know about the necklace, too. His eyes flicker with confusion, then alarm. I don't have any information about a necklace. It was a shot in the dark. But his reaction tells me there's something there, something I need to find. After he leaves, I collapse onto the couch, adrenaline draining away. My phone rings. Bryant again? This time I answer. I'm alive, I say before he can speak. Glad to hear it. His voice is warm with relief. Listen, I need to tell you something. Alfred came by the office yesterday. I sit up straight. What? Why? He wanted to know if you'd been in contact with any of our clients, specifically the Westmore development. The Westmore development, my biggest project, the one that could make my career. He claimed that as your fiancé, he was concerned about your mental state affecting the project. Bryant continues. I showed him the door, but Noelle, he's trying to undermine you professionally. Cold clarity washes over me. This isn't just about my heart or my money anymore. Alfred is trying to destroy everything I've built. I'll be in tomorrow, I tell Bryant, already gathering the evidence into a folder. You sure you're ready? I look around my apartment at the shrine to betrayal I've been building. I can't hide forever, and I need to find out what this necklace is about. What necklace? I don't know yet, I admit, but I think it might be the key to understanding why Violet really did this. The Westmore presentation boards gleam under the conference room lights. I've spent the last 3 days rebuilding myself through work, showered, dressed in my sharpest suit, armed with coffee and determination. If Alfred wants to question my professional competence, I'll answer with excellence. They're going to love this, Bryant says, examining my revised designs. The sustainability elements are inspired. Thanks. I straighten papers that don't need straightening. Any word on who's representing the Westmores today? Bryant hesitates. Their regular counsel and Alfred. My hands freeze. What? He's claiming the Westmores specifically requested him. I tried to have him removed, but it's fine. I cut him off, though it's anything but fine. I can handle Alfred. Bryant studies me. You don't have to do this today. Yes, I do. I check my reflection in the glass wall. He's trying to rattle me. I won't give him the satisfaction. The conference room door opens, and the Westmores enter, Robert and his daughter Melissa, followed by their financial advisor. And then Alfred, looking immaculate in a suit I helped him choose last Christmas. Our eyes meet. His hold a warning, mine a promise. Noel? Robert Westmore embraces me warmly. Bryant tells me you've been working miracles with our project. Just doing my job, I smile, ignoring Alfred completely. Shall we begin? The presentation flows smoothly. I walk them through the redesigned community space, the green energy implementations, the cost-saving measures that don't sacrifice quality. I'm in my element, confident and clear. Then Alfred clears his throat. I have some concerns about the timeline. I keep my expression neutral. The timeline is aggressive but achievable. Given recent events, he continues, eyes fixed on me, I wonder if the firm can guarantee consistent project management. There it is, the attack I anticipated. If you're referring to my personal life, Alfred, I say, my voice steady, I assure you it has no bearing on my professional commitments. I'm simply concerned about emotional stability. A valid concern, I interrupt, turning to the Westmores, which is why I've implemented additional oversight protocols and brought in Tara from our sustainability team as support. You'll find the details on page 12 of your packets. Alfred blinks, caught off guard by my preparation. Melissa Westmore flips to the page. This is impressive, Noel. You've thought of everything. Not everything, Alfred mutters. Robert Westmore frowns. Is there something specific troubling you, Alfred? Because from where I sit, Noel has addressed all our concerns thoroughly. Alfred forces a smile. Just doing my due diligence. The meeting concludes with handshakes and approvals. As everyone files out, Alfred lingers. Clever move, he says once we're alone. But this isn't over. It was over the moment Violet opened her mouth at our wedding, I reply. Now it's just cleanup. His eyes narrow. Speaking of Violet, she's quite upset about your accusation. What accusation? About the necklace. She says she doesn't know what you're talking about. I maintain my poker face. Interesting that she's so upset about something she knows nothing about. Alfred steps closer. Whatever you think you know, I know enough. I gather my materials, and I'm learning more every day. His expression hardens. Be careful, Noel. You might not like what you find. The threat hangs in the air as he leaves. Only when the door closes do I allow myself a shaky breath. You bluffed? Emma laughs, pouring more wine into my glass. We're at her apartment, safely away from any memories of Alfred or Violet. That's brilliant. It was a guess, I admit, but his reaction told me everything. There's something about a necklace that matters to them both. Emma's smile fades. Do you think it could be your grandmother's emerald? The one your mom gave you for the wedding? My stomach drops. The emerald necklace, a family heirloom meant to be worn by Henderson women on their wedding days. My mother had presented it to me with rare emotion, a moment of connection between us. I never even wore it, I whisper. It was in my jewelry box for the ceremony. Emma sets down her glass. When did you last see it? I close my eyes, thinking. The rehearsal dinner. I showed it to Violet when she came to my room to borrow earrings. And after the wedding chaos? I haven't checked. My hands begin to shake. You don't think... Emma's expression is grim. Call your mother. The conversation with my mother is brief and painful. Yes, the necklace is missing. No, she hasn't seen it since giving it to me. Yes, she's furious about the wedding disaster. No, she doesn't want to discuss Violet's behavior. After hanging up, I stare at my phone. If they stole my grandmother's necklace, then this wasn't just about the trust fund. Emma finishes. It was about hurting you completely. My phone pings with a text from Jess. Found something on V's friend Daria. You'll want to see this. Attached is a photo of Daria and Violet at a cafe, huddled in conversation. The timestamp is 2 days ago, but what catches my eye is the glint of green at Violet's throat, partially hidden by her scarf. My grandmother's emerald. I need to talk to Daria, I say, showing Emma the photo. Violet's best friend? She'll never betray her. Maybe not. I finish my wine. But Daria and I were friends once too, before Violet claimed her. And unlike my sister, Daria has a conscience. I send a text to Daria. We need to talk about the necklace Violet's wearing. Tomorrow, 10 a.m., Riverside Cafe. Come alone. The response is immediate. How did you know? I don't answer. Let her worry overnight about what I know and what I don't. Tomorrow, I'll start getting real answers. Riverside Cafe bustles with morning customers. But I spot Daria immediately. She's hunched over her coffee, eyes darting nervously toward the door. When she sees me, her face pales. I slide into the seat across from her, setting my phone face up on the table, recording app ready. Thank you for coming, I say, keeping my voice neutral. Daria's fingers twist around her cup. I almost didn't. But you did. That says something. She looks thinner than I remember, dark circles under her eyes. Violet's friendship has always come with a cost. I don't know what you think I can tell you. She begins. I pull out the photo and place it between us. You can start by explaining why my sister is wearing my grandmother's emerald necklace. Daria stares at the picture, then closes her eyes briefly. I told her not to wear it in public. So you knew she took it. Not initially. Daria's voice drops. She showed up at my place after your wedding, or non-wedding, wearing it under her dress. Said it was a gift from your mother. My mother would never give Violet that necklace. The certainty in my voice makes Daria flinch. It's been passed to the eldest daughter for generations. That's what I thought, but Violet was convincing. I lean forward. What else has she convinced you of, Daria? She looks away. I don't want to be in the middle of this. You already are. I keep my voice gentle but firm. How long have you known about her and Alfred? Since Christmas. She meets my eyes finally. I saw them together at the mall when they were supposedly shopping separately for your gifts. They didn't see me. 6 months. While I was planning my wedding, my friend knew my sister and fiancé were betraying me. Why didn't you tell me? Daria's eyes fill with tears. Violet said it was just physical, that it would end before the wedding. Then she said Alfred was leaving you anyway, that you were too focused on your career to make him happy. Each word is a fresh cut. I take a steadying breath. And the trust fund? The prenup? Daria looks genuinely confused. What prenup? I explain briefly about Alfred's financial scheme. Daria's expression shifts from confusion to horror. I didn't know about any of that, she whispers. Violet never mentioned money. What did she mention? Daria hesitates. She said, she said it was finally her turn to be the favorite. The words hit me like a physical blow. Her turn? She's always felt second best. To you, the successful daughter, the one your mother respects, the one who got the family heirlooms and the trust fund from your grandfather. That's not, I stop myself. Isn't it true? Our mother has always been harder on Violet, comparing her unfavorably to me. And our grandfather did leave his money only to me, saying Violet was too irresponsible. That doesn't justify what she did, I say finally. No, Daria agrees. It doesn't. She reaches into her bag and pulls out a small velvet pouch. I took this from her yesterday. Told her I needed to borrow it for a date. My grandmother's emerald necklace spills into my palm, the green stone catching the light. My throat tightens. Why are you giving this to me? Daria looks miserable. Because I should have told you at Christmas. Because what they're doing is wrong. As I'm processing this, the cafe door opens. Violet walks in, freezing when she sees us together. Her eyes lock on the necklace in my hand. You bitch, she hisses at Daria. You said you needed it for a date. Daria stands, gathering her things. I'm sorry, Violet. I can't do this anymore. She squeezes my shoulder before hurrying out, leaving me alone with my sister. Violet slides into the vacant seat, her initial shock hardening into defiance. So now you're turning my friends against me too? I didn't have to turn anyone. Your actions did that. She scoffs. Always so self-righteous. Poor Noelle, the perfect victim. Why did you take this? I hold up the necklace. It wasn't enough to take Alfred? Something flickers across her face. Pain, maybe even shame, before the mask returns. Mom should have given it to me. She only gave it to you because you're the responsible one. So you stole it. I borrowed it. Like you borrowed my fiancé. The words come out sharper than intended. Violet leans forward. Alfred and I love each other. That part wasn't a lie. And the prenup? The plan to access my trust fund? Was that love too? Her expression falters. What are you talking about? For a moment, I almost believe her confusion is genuine, but I've seen the evidence. Stop lying, Violet. I know everything. Clearly you don't, she snaps. Alfred never mentioned any trust fund to me. A cold feeling spreads through my chest. Then why? Because I was tired of being second place. Her voice rises, drawing glances from nearby tables. My entire life, it's been, why can't you be more like Noelle? Do you have any idea what that's like? So you destroyed my wedding to get back at me? I struggle to keep my voice steady. How does that make you first place in anything? Violet's eyes fill with tears that, for once, seem real. It wasn't supposed to happen like that. I was drunk, emotional. Alfred said we should wait until after. She stops abruptly. After what? I press. Nothing. She stands, grabbing her purse. Keep the stupid necklace. It doesn't matter anymore. As she turns to leave, I catch her wrist. Violet, if Alfred was using you too. He loves me, she insists, but uncertainty clouds her eyes. He's going to prove it. How? She pulls away. You'll see. We both will. After she leaves, I sit motionless, the necklace heavy in my hand. My phone buzzes with a text from Jess. Found something in A's email. Meeting tonight? I reply immediately. Yes, and bring everything you have on my mother's finances. The pieces are starting to fit together, forming a picture I never expected, one where Violet might be as much a victim as I am. Your mother is broke. Jess slides financial statements across my kitchen table, or she will be very soon. I stare at the documents, trying to make sense of them. Bank accounts nearly empty, credit cards maxed out, a second mortgage on the family home I grew up in. That's impossible, I say. My mother is obsessively careful with money. Was, Jess corrects. Something changed about 18 months ago. Large withdrawals, luxury purchases, a trip to Monaco. Monaco? My mother, who considers a weekend in the Hamptons an extravagance? Could someone have stolen her identity? Jess shakes her head. The purchases were made in person. Credit card receipts have her signature. I flip through the statements again, noticing a recurring charge. What's Horizon Partners? Investment firm. Very exclusive. Jess pulls up information on her tablet. Minimum buy-in of $200,000. The amount matches a withdrawal from my mother's retirement account. And look who's on their client relations team. Jess turns the tablet toward me. Alfred's face smiles back at me from the company website. I don't understand, I whisper. Alfred is a corporate lawyer. He doesn't work in investments. According to my sources, he doesn't work for Horizon officially. He refers select clients for a commission. My mind races. Alfred met my mother through me 3 years ago. He proposed a year and a half ago, right when these financial changes began. He's been playing a longer game than I realized, I say, feeling sick. But why involve Violet? Insurance, maybe. Jess gathers the papers. Or just keeping it in the family. I think of Violet's confusion about the trust fund, her insistence that Alfred loves her. What if she's telling the truth about not knowing his financial motives? I need to talk to my mother. My childhood home looks smaller somehow, the garden less immaculate than I remember. My mother opens the door before I can knock, her expression guarded. This is unexpected, she says, not moving to let me in. We need to talk. I hold up the financial documents. About Horizon Partners. Her face pales. She glances at the neighbor's house, then pulls me inside. The living room is the same as always, formal, impeccable, unlived in. But there are subtle changes. The silver candlesticks missing from the mantel. The space where a small painting once hung. Where did you get those? She demands, nodding at the papers in my hand. That's not important. What matters is that Alfred has been stealing from you. She laughs, a brittle sound. Don't be ridiculous. Alfred helped me invest my money. In a scheme. Mom, Horizon Partners isn't legitimate. They take your money and… Stop. Her voice is sharp. I know exactly what I invested in. The returns have been exceptional. Have you actually received any returns, or just statements showing growth? Her hesitation tells me everything. Mom, I say gently, when was the last time you tried to withdraw money from this investment? She sits down heavily. They require a 12-month commitment, which conveniently would have ended right after my wedding. I sit beside her, after I signed Alfred's prenup giving him access to my trust fund. That's absurd. Alfred wouldn't… She stops, uncertainty crossing her face. He and Violet are both involved, yes, though I'm starting to think Violet doesn't know the full extent of it. My mother's composure cracks. I've lost everything, haven't I? The vulnerability in her voice strikes me. I've never seen her like this, scared, diminished. Not everything, I say. We can fight this, but I need to know when Alfred first approached you about investing. She tells me everything, how Alfred had mentioned exclusive investment opportunities, how he'd shown her fabricated success stories, how he'd made her feel special for being included. I was trying to secure our future, she says. Your father never left us with much security. The mention of my father, who died believing he'd provided well for us, stings. Did Violet know about your investments? My mother nods slowly. Alfred brought her to one of the meetings. said it would be good for her to learn about finance. And she never mentioned it to me? I asked them not to. I wanted to surprise you with the returns. Her laugh is hollow. I was a fool. As we talk, pieces click into place. Alfred cultivated relationships with both my mother and sister, using each relationship to strengthen his position. The prenup was the final piece, access to the one fortune he couldn't touch otherwise. My phone buzzes with a text from Emma. 911. Violet just called me crying. She's at Alfred's apartment and needs help. Says he's showing his true colors. Cold dread washes over me. I have to go. Violet's in trouble. My mother grabs my arm. What are you going to do? What I should have done from the beginning. Protect my sister. After what she did to you? Disbelief colors her voice. She's still my sister. I head for the door, and Alfred has been manipulating all of us. Noelle, my mother calls after me. Be careful. Men like Alfred, they don't like losing. Outside, I call Emma. I'm on my way to Alfred's. Call Bryant and tell him what's happening. Shouldn't we call the police? I think of Alfred's connections, his ability to charm and manipulate. Not yet. First, I need to get Violet out of there. As I drive, another text comes through. From Violet this time. I'm sorry. You were right about everything. He wants the necklace back. Says it's worth more than I know. The emerald necklace, still in my purse from this morning. What did Alfred say? You might not like what you find. I press the accelerator harder. Whatever game Alfred is playing, it ends tonight. Alfred's luxury apartment building gleams like a fortress of glass and steel. The doorman recognizes me, his eyes widening slightly. Ms. Harper, I thought, I'm expected, I lie, striding past him. In the elevator, I check my phone. No new messages from Violet. Emma is 20 minutes away. Bryant hasn't responded. My fingers close around the velvet pouch in my purse, the emerald necklace suddenly heavy with significance. The elevator opens directly into Alfred's penthouse. The space is immaculate as always. Minimalist furniture, strategic lighting, floor-to-ceiling windows overlooking the city. No sign of disturbance. No sign of Violet. Hello? My voice echoes in the open space. Alfred emerges from his home office, tumbler of whiskey in hand. He looks unsurprised to see me. Noel, what an unexpected pleasure. His tone is smooth, controlled. Where's Violet? He takes a deliberate sip. Not here. Cold fear grips me. She texted me, said she was with you. Did she? He sets down his glass. Phones can be so unreliable. I pull out my phone, showing him Violet's message. Stop playing games. Where is my sister? Alfred studies the text, then smiles. Ah, she was here earlier. We had a disagreement. She left. Without her phone? I step closer. What did you do to her? Always so dramatic. He sighs. I simply explained some financial realities she wasn't prepared to accept. Like how you've been scamming my mother? His expression flickers, surprise, quickly masked. I've helped your mother make sound investments. In a fake company with non-existent returns? I move toward the windows, keeping distance between us. The game is over, Alfred. I know everything. He laughs, but it doesn't reach his eyes. You always think you know everything. That's your problem, Noelle. So convinced of your own superiority. This isn't about me. It's about what you've done to my family. Your family? His voice hardens. The mother who values status over happiness? The sister who's been jealous of you her entire life? They were easy to convince, Noelle, because deep down, they wanted to believe they deserved more than you gave them. Each word lands like a blow, but I hold my ground. Where is Violet's phone? He gestures vaguely toward his office. Probably in there. She was quite upset when she left. I move toward the office, keeping my eyes on him. The door is ajar, desk lamp casting shadows across the room. Violet's phone lies on the desk beside. I freeze. Beside it is a jeweler's loop and a document titled Emerald Authentication. Curious about the necklace? Alfred appears in the doorway behind me. It's quite a remarkable piece, much more valuable than your family realizes. I turn slowly. What are you talking about? The emerald. He steps into the room. Colombian, exceptional clarity, over 15 carats, conservatively worth $500,000, more with its historical provenance. My mind races. My grandmother's necklace is a family heirloom, not some priceless gem. Your grandmother's? He laughs. That necklace dates back to the 1850s. It belonged to a Spanish countess before making its way to America. Your family probably has no idea of its true origin or value. The pieces click together. That's why you wanted me to wear it at the wedding. You were going to steal it. Not steal, simply relocate. His smile is cold. I have a buyer who's been looking for exactly such a piece. No questions asked. And when I didn't wear it to the wedding, Violet proved useful after all. He shrugs. She took it without prompting, a gift from the universe. Disgust rises in my throat. Did you ever care about either of us? Business is business, Noel. He steps closer. Now, I believe you have something that belongs to me. The necklace doesn't belong to you. Neither does your grandfather's trust fund, but that didn't stop you from hoarding it. His voice turned silky. You never planned to share with Violet, did you? Even knowing how your mother always favored you? I won't let him manipulate me. Where is Violet now? Safe, probably crying to one of her friends. He holds out his hand. The necklace, Noel. And if I don't give it to you? His expression hardens. Then things become unpleasant for everyone. My phone buzzes, a text from an unknown number. It's Daria. Violet is with me. She's scared. Alfred threatened her. Relief floods through me, followed by clarity. I need to keep Alfred talking until Emma arrives. You know what I don't understand? I move toward the window, putting the desk between us. Why the elaborate scheme? Why not just steal the necklace? Because I'm not a thief, he says, affronted. I'm an opportunist. The trust fund was the primary goal. The necklace was a bonus. And my mother's investments? Seed money, establishing credibility. He smiles. Your mother was surprisingly easy to convince, so eager to prove her financial acumen. You destroyed her retirement for seed money? Anger burns through me. Collateral damage, he shrugs. Now enough stalling. The necklace. I reach into my purse, fingers closing around the velvet pouch. You know what the worst part is, Alfred? I actually loved you. And I appreciated that about you. His smile doesn't reach his eyes. Love makes people so wonderfully compliant. The elevator chimes in the living room. Alfred's head turns slightly at the sound. In that moment of distraction, I press send on the voice recording app that's been running since I entered the apartment, forwarding the file to Emma, Bryant, and Jess. Alfred's eyes narrow as he turns back. What did you just do? I hold up my phone, showing him the sent confirmation. Business is business, Alfred. The fury that crosses his face is terrifying. He lunges across the desk, grabbing for my wrist. Give me that phone! I sidestep, but he catches my arm, fingers digging painfully into my skin. We struggle, his strength overwhelming mine. Let her go. Emma's voice cuts through the room. She stands in the doorway, Bryant beside her, both of their phones held up, recording. Alfred freezes, calculation passing across his face. He releases me with a shove that sends me stumbling backward. This proves nothing, he says, straightening his shirt. It's your word against mine. Actually, Bryant steps forward, it's your words against you. That confession about defrauding Reese Henderson? Very compelling evidence. Alfred's face drains of color as he realizes the extent of what I've recorded. You won't get away with this, he hisses at me. I pull the emerald necklace from my purse, holding it up to the light. I already have. The police station smells like industrial cleaner and bad coffee. I've been answering the same questions for 3 hours, my voice growing hoarse as I explain Alfred's scheme again and again. The recording makes it straightforward, but the detective wants every detail. And the necklace? She asks, making notes. A family heirloom. I place the velvet pouch on the table, apparently worth far more than we realized. She nods. We'll need to keep this as evidence temporarily. I understand. I glance at the clock, nearly midnight. Is my sister still here? Finishing her statement in the next room. When I'm finally released, I find Emma waiting in the lobby, scrolling through her phone. Bryant took your mother home, she says, standing. Alfred's being held without bail, flight risk. And Violet? Emma hesitates. Still inside, Daria's waiting for her. As if summoned by her name, Violet emerges from a side door, looking small and exhausted. When she sees me, she stops, uncertainty written across her face. I'll wait in the car, Emma says, squeezing my arm before slipping outside. Violet and I stand in silence, the fluorescent lights humming overhead. All the anger I've carried these past weeks feels suddenly heavy, exhausting. I didn't know, she finally says, about Mom's money, about the necklace. I know, her eyes widen slightly. You believe me? Alfred manipulated all of us. I take a step closer. But that doesn't erase what you did, Violet. You still chose to sleep with my fiancé. You still chose to humiliate me at my wedding. She looks down. I was jealous of everything you had, everything you were. And now? I ask. What do you think I have now? Tears fill her eyes. Your dignity, your strength. She wipes her cheek. I never had either. The admission hangs between us. Not quite an apology, but perhaps the most honest thing she's ever said to me. Where will you go tonight? I ask. Daria's offering her couch. She attempts a smile. Apparently, I've used up all my betrayal allowance with her. I nod, not yet ready to offer more. Get some rest. We'll talk tomorrow. As she turns to leave, I add, Violet, I'm glad you're safe. The surprise in her eyes says everything about our relationship, how broken it's been, long before Alfred entered our lives. Dawn breaks as I unlock my apartment door, Emma trailing behind me. We're both exhausted, moving on autopilot as we kick off shoes and collapse onto the couch. You should sleep, Emma says, stifling a yawn. Not yet. I pull out my phone, dialing a number I rarely use. My mother answers on the first ring, voice alert despite the hour. Noelle, is it over? Alfred's in custody. The police have everything they need. I take a deep breath. But we need to talk about what happens next. I've lost everything, she says quietly. The investments, the house equity. Not everything. I meet Emma's questioning gaze. I'm transferring funds from my trust to cover your losses. Silence on the line. Then, I can't accept that. You're not accepting anything. I'm fixing what Alfred broke. I pause. But there are conditions. What conditions? Her voice turns wary. Family therapy, you, me, and Violet, weekly. Another long silence. Is that really necessary? Yes. My voice is firm. What happened with Alfred exposed cracks that were already there. We need to address them. And if I refuse, then you'll still get the money. I close my eyes, finding strength I didn't know I had. But you won't have me. I hear her sharp intake of breath. You'd cut me off? I'd stop enabling patterns that hurt all of us. The words feel right as I say them. I love you, Mom, but I won't sacrifice my well being for your comfort anymore. When she finally speaks, her voice is different, smaller, but somehow more real than I've heard in years. When do we start? After we hang up, Emma studies me. You okay? Getting there. I lean back, exhaustion washing over me. I never thought I'd be using my trust fund to bail out my mother and rebuild a relationship with the sister who slept with my fiance. Emma smiles. Life's funny that way. Hilarious. But I find myself smiling too. My phone buzzes with a text from Bryant. Just heard from the jeweler. Your grandmother's emerald is indeed museum quality. The authentication is legitimate. I show Emma the message. At least one good thing came from this mess. Besides exposing your con man fiance and beginning to heal your dysfunctional family? She asks dryly. Besides that, we lapse into comfortable silence as the morning light strengthens. I think about the woman I was just weeks ago, planning a wedding, trusting blindly, avoiding difficult conversations. I need to shower, I announce, standing, then sleep for approximately 3 days. Emma nods. Want me to stay? No. I smile at her surprise. I'm okay being alone now. As she gathers her things to leave, I find myself standing at my window, watching the city wake up. The emerald necklace is still in police custody, but I can feel its weight around my neck, the inheritance of strength I never knew I possessed. Emma pauses at the door. What will you do with the necklace when you get it back? I turn from the window, the answer coming with unexpected clarity. Keep it safe, then someday pass it to someone who understands its true value. Not its price, its history. The story of women who survived betrayal and emerged stronger, a legacy worth more than any gemstone. I am who I choose to be, I whisper to myself as the door closes behind Emma. The words echo in my empty apartment, no longer a statement of defiance, but a simple, powerful truth.